Hello, hello, hello. How are you all? Just want to say how much I appreciate you joining me. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Today I want to talk about, just do a little authentic awakening vlog. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I just want to share personal experiences recently. So, as you know, if you followed this channel or my journey, a big thing, a big hurdle, a big obstacle, we'll say, a repeating pattern on this. We all go through the helix, right? Where we run into the same type of pattern, the same type of, cycle of challenges over and over again, but at different levels of consciousness, right? And we've all, I think, can recognize we have this one major repeating theme in our life that we keep running into, and keep overcoming in a different way, only to then face it from a higher perspective. Well, mine is codependency and feeding emotional desperation. And I think if you're a light worker or a starseed or an empath or just a really conscious being, a sensitive person, this could be a big one for you too. This could be a lot of ours, especially if you resonate with this channel. So, recently, my addiction started becoming my phone, like really intensely. That's where I would find my emotional validation, or where I would feed my patterns of emotional desperation. So I'd always reach for my phone and see just what kind of stimulation I could get, or what kind of escape I could get from, of course, the feelings I don't want to feel. We all have these feelings. And it finally got to a point for me very recently where the pain of not surrendering into stillness and silence was becoming more miserable than the misery of not feeding my impulses and addictions. Like, it became so much more miserable for me to really keep avoiding facing myself than the misery of cutting myself off from my addictive behaviors. Like, that withdrawal was starting to become very minimal compared to the amount of pain that I was starting to feel for not connecting to myself and my center, my spiritual center, my heart, and my silence, from not connecting to that space for so long. And it got to a point where I finally had to say, right now this ends. Right now this ends. And that was a couple days ago. And really, just to give you the details, I've started being so much more conscious, intentional, and efficient with how I use my phone, how I use technology. And that's another thing I want to mention briefly is this technology, it doesn't always mix well with Kundalini energy. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but staring at a screen all day tends to kind of drain our consciousness. That screen will literally drain the consciousness from our being. And then we have less life force to do the work, to do the healing work. Especially if you have an active Kundalini, you're going to feel, especially in your third eye region, just kind of a lot of, you're going to feel kind of cut off there, like you're a little bit short-circuited even, if you overuse technology. I was definitely doing this. I was checking my phone very frequently. And it was just basically my escape. I've really outgrown and evolved out of so many of my previous patterns of emotional desperation, which I've covered extensively, but I'll review for you: women, marijuana, alcohol. I say caffeine because caffeine was truly an addiction for me, but and all of these things, if you have, it's all, everything's kind of neutral. It's what you bring to it, right? So outgrowing a lot of those patterns, really what was left for me was technology, and my relationship with technology recently has not been a healthy one. And I've just been noticing my emotional dependency on certain apps, scrolling through YouTube videos. Like every time it's time to really go within, just it's so easy to just start seeing what there's so many great YouTube videos, right? And so finally I just said, I'm looking at my phone hardly ever anymore, and when I do, it's for a purpose. It's like literally I'm going to go on, I'm going to respond to your guys' beautiful and supportive comments, or I'm going to have a session with somebody, or I'm going to make an intentional phone call to a friend, or I'm going to like upload a video or work on my blog. You know what I mean? Intentionality is the key here for me. And when I'm not doing something like that, I'm off of it, and I've been taking long distances away from it. And what I'm finding is after the initial distress, initial first few times of wanting to reach for my phone for absolutely no reason except to escape what's in front of me, for the first few times doing that, and then having the consciousness to just let go of that desire, I found that I feel so much more centered again. I feel so much more serene. And a big part of this is without always needing to look at my phone, without like this technological information like short-circuiting, without the screen, and all that shit short-circuiting my energy, I feel like more desire to do yoga. Yoga's been so much easier. I had this exquisite, I'll just say, this profound breakthrough in yin yoga last night, where I just really felt the Kundalini come alive and start rushing through me like I haven't felt in so long. And not so long, but it's been a while since I felt that much clearing taking place, that much just I could feel, like we can go to a different realm when we get into this place of very, very deep relaxation. And that's why yin yoga is so beautiful. It relaxes the parasympathetic nervous system, which allows that Kundalini energy to really flow freely and in a peaceful, soothing way. So I went into this really deep meditation in this yin yoga asana. And then I just spent, I've been spending so much more time in nature. You just feel, what it really is? You just feel so much more connected to the silence. When you really give stillness and silence a chance, and you don't try to go start filling it with things, because the mind wants to fill stillness and silence with all kinds of externals. And I noticed leading up to this, there was always this structure within me that was wanting this and that, needing this validation, give me this emotional validation, give me this stimulant, give me this, technological stimulation. And it was a really dominant force. And it was really overwhelming me for a little while there. And I was kind of perplexed by it. Like, why don't I have the consciousness to stop feeding my patterns of emotional desperation? It's like, I know what I need to do. Why won't I do it? And like I said, finally, the misery of not doing what I know I need to do became greater than the misery of not feeding my patterns of emotional desperation, of not feeding my addictions. There's like this tipping point and that's when we really outgrow and addiction, whatever it is. It's when the misery of the addiction becomes greater than the misery of quitting the addiction, plain and simple. And it finally reached that threshold for me. And I've just been feeling so good, just so good, just so peaceful, so less doubtful of everything, and more love, more heart energy, and more connection. And I've noticed, oh my God, this place was here the whole time. Why was I keeping myself from it? Why did I keep incessantly taking myself from it with all these various distractions, and escape mechanisms? What is this aspect in me that is so afraid of the silence? What is it in us that resists stillness? What is it within us that so craves externals to feel whole? And this aspect that craves externals to feel whole, why doesn't it want us to find this place of stillness and silence where we realize we don't need anything as far as emotional validation externally? We realize, oh my gosh, this is actually heaven. Everything is God. God is all there is. And we're just one expression of God, of infinite expressions. And when you connect with that place, that silence, that stillness, it will guide you. It will guide you. So that's the video today. Just a little authentic awakening vlog, sharing with you my experiences. I will share this today as well. I share the dark, so I'm going to share the light too, to give you guys a nice balance. Today I was sitting in bed after just going on this amazing it's been beautiful here lately. So I was down by this river, and I saw this just stunning bald eagle flying, and I saw this amazing little river rat crawling right by me, and I was just hearing the sounds of the ice breaking away from the banks of the riverside. And I came home and I did this yoga asana and I did some writing, and I just was sitting there, and at one point I became I couldn't even function. There was so much bliss and peace in my being, and it was just whoa, why have I been keeping myself from accessing this realm of existence? What is it, what is this movement in us that doesn't want us to find this place? And that's what I really want to share with you guys today. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope for you that you're able to let go of some of the distractions, some of the things that don't bring meaning to your life, and that you're able to go on a silent retreat of your own, to where you can just kind of disconnect with the external world for a while, to go within and to see what's there. And I promise if you do this, you will be pleasantly surprised. Not maybe surprised, you will just be really amazed at what you find within. Namaste.